Hello and welcome to a very wet Friday. The city was pummeled by heavy downpours and widespread flooding with a severity not seen in 500 years, according to the government. They also issued the extreme conditions warning for the first time, which is expected to remain in place until at least midnight. This as the black rainstorm warning was in force for more than 16 hours, with much of the city's transport and services having been brought to a standstill. Jackie Lin was at one of the hardest hit districts in Hong Kong.
Feel the power of nature. This churning waterfall is the upper stream of Sha Tin Shingmun River. Torrents of water gush down the hill with water splashing high. Devastation inflicted by the floodwaters seen by residents who ignored safety warnings. Among the worst hit districts is Wong Tai Sin, floodwater inundating not just outside the premises, but also swamping the Wong Tai Sin MTR station, as well as the lower ground level at nearby Temple Mall. In the late afternoon, the north wing of Temple Mall is still half submerged, with furniture and debris seen floating and drifting in the floodwater, while the lower floors have been cordoned off. As you can see behind me, the upper levels are now open for the public as usual.
I felt sad because I have never seen this rain and I watch it in TV and I want to come here.
Some restaurant staff had to be evacuated. Similar sites of devastation on Lung Cheng Road. Workers toiled hard to remove the debris.
I think the gate was actually damaged by the flooding and it looked quite serious. I've never seen this stuff, even though I've lived here for already more than 20 years.
I never see it before. It's kind of scary.
While the torrential downpours have abated, mud and silt still coat the sidewalk. And as you can see, cleanup efforts are underway across the community. Over in Kowloon Tong, the MTR station was overwhelmed by flood water. Train services disrupted. Rainwater cascaded down the platform to the rail tracks. The main artery of Waterloo Road near Cornwall Street cordoned off too. With 600 millimeters of rainfall recorded in 10 hours during the storm, that broke the highest measurement of precipitation ever recorded by the Hong Kong Observatory since 1884. Jackie Lin, TVB News.
Some of the most serious damage was caused by landslides. The landslip warning remains in effect. As of this evening, authorities have handled 34 landslide cases in the city. In Shau Kei Wan, several large rocks fell onto the road near the hillside of a public housing estate, while several roads caved in around the southern district. Timothy Lee reports.
Under heavy rainfall during the black rainstorm signal in Shau Kei Wan, many huge rocks fell onto Yu Hing Road near Yu Tung Estate. Completely blocking off the road. Cars were damaged. Minibus stop signs too. Mud and silt were everywhere around the ground floor of Yu Ming House. Trees could be seen sliding off hill slopes. A portion of the hill was missing. Some residents said they heard loud bangs throughout last night. This man said it felt like an earthquake and that he thought he was in a disaster film. In Chai Wan, sludge covered several parts of Wan Toi Road. Water reached above ankle-deep level. Leaves, bricks, and miscellaneous items trashed the street. Some cars broke down while trying to traverse the flooded area. Drivers got out and attempted to push their vehicles. Some residents saw the travel plans affected by the heavy showers. This man said he was in a hurry to board a plane to Shenzhen, adding that he was worried he would miss his flight in the afternoon. This driver noted how some car parks in Siu Sai Wan had been completely flooded. On Friday morning, the police deployed officers to help guide traffic, while fire services arrived at several locations to tow broken-down vehicles. Workers removed objects strewn on the streets, shoveled away dirt blocking the road. At Braemar Hill, some outer walls of residences tumbled and destroyed railings. Lampposts were not exempt from damage. In Deepwater Bay, a sinkhole was created at the junction of Island Road and Repulse Bay Road, trapping a white vehicle. Underground cables were also exposed, with gas company personnel sent to check on the situation. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
Water poured into many MTR stations, causing flooding along the Kwintong line. At one point, the underground tunnel was inundated with water reaching up to staff members' necks. Train services between Shek Kip Mei and Choi Hung stations remain suspended. Footage that circulated among the MTR staff union shows water rushing into Wong Tai Sin station with levels running up to people's knees. Others captured the sight when the MTR train was more like a boat, with water flowing through the Wong Tai Sin platform. Lawmaker Gary Zhang, who used to work in MTR, said it's not acceptable for staff to wade through water when the underground tunnels are flooded. He said the rail operator should pump away the water and only deploy workers in the tunnels when water is at a safe level. Meanwhile, heavy rain pounded the city center and led to serious flooding that persisted through the night. Many cars broke down and drivers were trapped. Sharon Tang has that story.
The power of the black rainstorm warning. Here in Taiwan, cars stalled. Many vehicle engines broke down and rescuers tried to help. Some residents decided to walk through the floodwater. This man said, "I've never seen floods washing in as quick as this one in my entire life." This passenger was on a vehicle that broke down and decided to wade through the water. He said, "Would you rather be stuck inside the car and wait for water levels to keep rising?" Others weren't so lucky. This woman couldn't stand up and was washed away by the floodwater along the road that turned into a river. Over at a car park on Wancho Estate in Taiwan, many vehicles were pretty much submerged. Floodwater levels nearly reached the top of the vehicles, and many car owners couldn't save their cars in time. This car owner said, "Drains started to clog and the water started to pour out from them, and I knew something was wrong." He told the facility staff, but the damage could not be prevented. This is what happened to a bus going from Taiwan to Admiralty. Water rushed into the vehicle, and some passengers went to the upper deck. Part of Wong Tai Sin was covered in floodwater. Similar sights too on Leighton Road. Many cars were almost floating. Serious flooding was also seen just outside Victoria Park, outside Shingmun Tunnel towards the direction of Sha Tin, as well as Wanpo Road in Cheung Kwan O. The observatory said many districts recorded more than 70 millimeters of rainfall since last night. In Kowloon, northeastern New Territories and Hong Kong Island, 200 millimeters of rainfall were recorded respectively. The observatory recorded 158.1 millimeters of rainfall in 1 hour between 11 p.m. and midnight last night, the highest level ever seen in the city since 1884. Sharon Tang, TVB News.